Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Maths Fun Learning. I'm your math teacher Rashi. In this video, we are going to learn about a new topic, and that is a decimal with small activity so that you will understand very well about decimals. So let's start. Let's understand what is decimal basically. So decimal is a fraction which is written in a special form. What it is? So let me write a fraction here. Fraction, suppose I will take 1 out of 5. So this is my fraction. And we are going to write this fraction in a special form. And that special form is 0.2. And that is a special form. This is called a decimal. Okay, what is that decimal? What is that fraction? How you will take that 1 by 5? Okay, suppose you can see here I have ladybugs. 5 ladybugs I have. Look at here. Denominator it has a 5. That means I have a 5 total ladybugs. My friend came and she want 1 ladybug. So what is the fraction I give it to her? That is, out of 5, I give only 1. So that is my fraction. If I want to change this fraction into a decimal form, so my decimal is 0.2. And that is called a special form. 0 here is on the ones place and 2 is here on the tenth place. Tenth, yes. Now, so we can say decimal are the one of the numbers, type of numbers, which has a whole number and a fractional part separated by a decimal point. This dot here is represented between the whole and a fractional part. So that is called a decimal point, right? Okay, suppose I will take 2.3. So this here, two digits are separated by separated by a decimal point. So 2 is here a whole. We'll write a whole. This is called a whole. Before decimal, the numbers are called whole, and after decimal, the numbers are in a fractional part. So the place name of this 3 is TENTHS, because these are the parts. That's why we are using here tenths, and these are the whole. This is on the ones place. Okay, let me describe you with a small activity. And what is that small activity? What are the materials we require? Let's see. It's very simple activity. You require only a mathematics, some sheets of maths notebook, from which you have to cut a square, and that square should be 10 by 10. There are 10 rows and 10 columns. So that means if you can observe, there are total 100 small boxes are there. So this is 100%. We can say this is 100 means it's 100%. Now I am going to explain you how to find out the fraction, how to learn a decimal from these activities. Now, for this activity, you need two squares, 10 by 10 of squares, even three squares you need. So I already cut this three squares here, and you need a one scissor also. To represent this 2.3, I need a sheet of paper so that my white sheet will be visible properly. 2.3. For this 2 is on the ones place, that means this is whole number. What I did, I just took a 2 flats. So I'm calling it these one square, I call it a flat. So 2 flats, and for this decimal, to represent a decimal here, I'll take my ladybug only. Okay, so this ladybug represent a decimal point. Now what about this 3? Is that a 3 flats we are using? No, this 3 means we have to, basically decimal means a pieces, so you have to cut this square into a pieces. So if we are talking about the 3 here, so what we will do, first we'll divide this square in a 10 pieces. So 10, now I'm going to fold it, you can observe, then 10 pieces. Okay, this is one rod, you can see I cut this part from the other one, this is one rod. So the same we have to cut. How many rods we need? We need a 3 rods. So out of 10 rods, out of, you can observe there are 10 rods are there, the out of 10 rods we need a 3 rods only. Okay, so let me write the rods here. This is 1 rod, 2 rods, 3 rods longitudinally, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Out of 10 rods, we need only 3. That's why it is called tenths. Let me show you how. I'll just cut one rod. This is just after the decimal. If we cut our whole parts, so we'll cut first in a longitudinal or in a rods form. This is my one rod. Again, 2 rods. Out of 10, we used only 3. 2 rods and 3 rods. In one rod, how many small blocks are there? Small squares are there? Exactly that, 10 squares are there. So out of 10 rods, we used only 3 rods. This is tenths. That's, every rod has a 10 small squares. Now this is represented 2.3. Okay kids, suppose if I have a number 2.35, what does it mean 5? You can observe that 5 is after the tens. That means now what we have to do, we just cut our rods into a more small pieces, because this place is a hundreds place. Let me write here 100, spelling of 100, and THS we are using because this is a part. Out of 100 we need only 5 squares, small squares. So what I'm going to do, I'll just take a one rod and cut it into a small blocks. So you know that in one square it has 100 small squares. In one big flat it has 100 small squares. So that 5 is out of hundreds we are using, because what we'll just cut a small squares. In one rod there are 10 squares are there. Out of 10 we are using only 5. So if we started making a pieces of this, that means we are generally fractionized from out of hundreds only, because there are 100 small squares, so we just want to count it out of 100. We are using only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So out of 100 we use 5 small squares. So that's more small pieces, right? In a decimal, first we make a pieces of rods. Then after that we make a little more small pieces. If we'll talk about the thousands, so what we have to do, we just make it little more small pieces, which is called as slices. Okay, here 5 and then let's take 1. This 1, the placement of the 1 is, I'll write in front of this, thousands. THS. Do not forget to write THS after the name. That means this is the PC. So I'll just shift it my squares little here. It is, I think it is visible. Okay, 2.35. So now we need a slices. So what we will do, it's 1,000. If every squares, if we cut into a 10 small pieces, that is change in this full square into 1,000 small pieces. So with my scissor, I'll just cut it into a 10 more small slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's very small slices. 9, and this one is 10. Okay. So out of this, I used only 1 because it's written 1. So I used only 1. You can observe that this is my fraction. This is my decimal. 2.351. You can observe here decimal means you have to divide your whole thing. You have to divide your thing into a pieces. You have to divide it into a small and small and small pieces. When you are talking about the thousands, you can see it's very small piece. So this is a thousands. Out of 1,000, how many parts we are using? 1. So the fractional form of this one is 1 out of 1,000. This is 5 is on the hundredth place. This is 5 out of 100. This is 3 out of 10. So that is what is decimal here. So I hope kids it is quite clear to you. Decimal means you have to make a little more small pieces. Now, how to write these in a number name forms? This is your number. How to write this in a number name form? Okay. Kids, number one, it is very important point is you have to read this number in every digits. After the decimal, you have to read every digits. You don't have to read like this 351. That's the wrong method. You have to read your decimal 2.351. This is the correct way to read it. Okay, now let me write the number name of this. How to write this and as a number name. So I'll just write 2.351. This is the correct way of writing decimal. Now let's take another decimal. Suppose 32.679. Let's write the number name here. This no, not number name, let's write the place name. This is ones, tens, decimal. This is a tens, THS. The 7 is on the hundreds place, hundreds THS, and 9 is thousands. Spelling of thousand, then you have to put THS. Let's write the number name of this number. Simply you have to write 32 because these two are the whole numbers. 32.679. This is the correct way of writing decimals. I hope you all enjoy this video. Please like my channel and subscribe my channel and share with your friends. And do not forget to click on the bell icon. Thank you.